text message I received today. You have very little time left, so you should cherish it. Hey man, what does that mean? You better respond. What does that mean? DoorDash driver texted me this way after drop-off. Hi, this is DoorDash connecting you to your Dasher for updates about your order. Order is still being prepared. Almost ready. Are you nearby? I was born ready. Live to die, die to live. What the hell did you order from this guy? My hand after a shower. God damn it! I was completely expecting one thing and you blindsided me. Good job. I hate you. This item on Facebook Marketplace. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I will give you $20. That's serious. I'll give you $20. I know that there's a lot of work that went into this, I'm certain, but I'll give you $20. I got a tiny grape inside my grape. What? What are the odds of that? Raw egg from grocery store with wrinkled shell. I don't know exactly what this means, but I've got a sneaky suspicion it's probably best not to eat it. Have you got a strange or weird allergy? Woman, 25, is allergic to water. My scalp would be bleeding after showering. Can you, what about drinking water? I mean, I have a sneaky suspicion that would be worse, right? If this were real, because I don't know, it's people.com, it could go either way. But I've got a sneaky suspicion that someone that was completely allergic to water to the tune of their skin begins to bleed from a shower, that maybe they'd be dead now? My buddy's ashtray. I don't like your buddy's ashtray. It looks like a Silent Hill monster, but one of the little ones you don't have to worry about too much. First time I've seen these referred to as chicken paws. Okay, yeah, that's new. Chicken paws. Also, can someone explain to me why these are being sold in packets? Like, are you eating these? What? I did no. Nuh-uh. Found Satan at local cheap stuff store. Local cheap stuff store? You can. Oh, right, not thrift store. Actual, we call that dumpster fodder store. We call that landfill store. So that's cool. And those are really awful. There are these weird symbols burned into one of the support beams at my job. Does anyone know what these are or what they mean? No. Also, you need to stop working there. It looks like you're in a dungeon. It's at your job? That last part says E. That much I'm sure of. Something, 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 E. Look at this massive grasshopper I found in Colombia. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's pretty darn big. I don't know what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be a giant monstrosity. Again, that is huge. Do not get me wrong. That guy gets near me, I'm freaking the hell out. But I was expecting something like a dog-sized one. I don't know why. I opened the curtains in my hotel to a pretty strange sight this morning. Hey, wait a minute. Hang on. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's definitely a new one. I thought for a brief moment that I was going to be looking at loss. Thankfully, I don't believe that to be the case, but wow. Thought this fit here. For President of the United States of America, ASAP. Okay, what latitude? What is this for? Huh? Oh no. Oh no. All right, let's see what sort of very important message you had for the president. The Holy Spirit is maple syrup. Real maple syrup from trees is the only cure for alcohol withdrawal and caffeine withdrawal. Wait, what? Okay, what else you got for me? CBD can have bad effects if the body has lots of toxins in it. Drink maple syrup to pull toxins out of your body's works for animals too. Animals need the Holy Spirit for survival as we do. I know way more cures than these and way more hidden language. Hope this helps until I get president. I want a minimum of a 300-year term at the White House in D.C. I think that's fair. That way I can deliver us from all evil as the Bible prayers ask. We do not have to follow the standard election rules. We can make new rules. Please share and copy. The sugar in CBD attaches to debris in our lungs and works debris loose. Spit it out and collect to investigate. Smoking pure Delta 8 CBD sugar is the cure for clogged lungs. Over time, the pores in our lungs get clogged with debris. Real maple syrup is the cure for failing liver, failing kidneys, gout, arthritis, promotes better sleep, does a lot more too. Okay, this is interesting. I know the secrets to eternal life and to restore your youth. We do not have to age and die. Okay. I'm sorry, man. If you want to be taken seriously, tell me what that is. Is it chugging maple syrup? I'll give it a try. Seriously, if I make it to really old age, like my 90s, I'll just start drinking maple syrup every day, because what do I have to lose? If that's what it is, you go ahead and let me know. I will test your theory. Also, we will see if you end up dying, because obviously you would take your own medicine, right? Netflix subtitles glitch. Constantly says there's no point in living, even though nobody said the line. If there's one thing that actually drives me crazy about streaming services right now, mainly Apple, it's the subtitles just not working right, man. For the most part, they're fine, but Tetris, the movie on Apple, was all but ruined for me because the subtitles just absolutely did not function. Maybe I'm alone in that. Regardless, old menthol cigarette ad from 1985. Alive with pleasure. Newport. After all, if smoking isn't a pleasure, why bother? I mean, that's addictive substances for you. If it's not fun or pleasurable or addictive, what's the goddamn point? Please stop smoking. Haven't seen that before. Only in New York. Oh, we've seen this before, though. You gotta get out more. The Peanut Butter Platform by Wim T. Shippers. What? What the hell am I know what I'm looking at, but at the same time, what the hell am I looking at? A man around my area traverses multiple cities to fly his plane. Okay. Oh, that is not the plane I was expecting to see. I was expecting to see something significantly smaller. No thanks. I'm full. Pooping Palace Thai cuisine under new management. I think you need to be under a new name. What am I witnessing? My dad is in prison for life. He's 87, and I tried to contact him recently. I want to just talk to him, but he keeps sending me the same letter, telling me to get this info to a physicist, that it's a new way to make energy? I'm pretty smart, and makes no sense to me. Any insights? All right, let's take a look. What's this guy got going on for him? Well, the image is too low resolution for me to really read what's going on, but if I had to make a bet, it just doesn't make sense, and he's lost his goddamn mind. That is psychosis, but do try to find perhaps a university physics student or something just to check if it represents anything. To me, it looks like a mess of basic symbols that don't quite make sense, but make a great book cover or background screen. Engineer here. Some of it makes sense. Like up at the top left, it says, well, that. N could be the number of revolutions. If he had a sigma symbol, he could be seen as, it could be seen as a Bernoulli sequence. But no, most of it is gibberish. Some might claim that there's a sacred geometry there because of the lines and the way they intersect with circles and such, but that's not what he's going for with the little aliens inside those circles. Just a thought. Found this while walking today. Guess I'm gonna die soon. Oops. No, see, what you got wasn't some sort of trinket letting you know that death is coming soon. What you got was simply something cool as hell. Okay, maybe not. My wife, who is Hispanic and raised Catholic, told me it was Santa Muerte. Santa Muerte. And advised me to throw it away. But I thought it was cool and saved it in my wallet. I looked it up. Apparently, it's its own religion, condemned by the Catholic Church. Pretty interesting to read about. My friends and I found this at a thrift store. Okay, 2020 minus T plus feet minus T, C plus red meat plus baby. What? I know I love reading those as literally as possible, but that one just kind of broke my brain. Listen, 2020 was weird to us all. This is COVID brain as a t-shirt. Shoe tree. Nuh-uh. Oh, never mind. Squirrel tails are uncomfortably thin. Oh, wow, they are. Goodness me. I always wondered what was underneath the big bit of fluff. That's interesting. Can someone explain how this was allowed to happen? Oh, we've seen this before. No one explained. Reflections in cup of tea. Stop! That's not funny! I'm just kidding. I don't actually have trypophobia. It does not send me into, twitches and whatnot. But this is still gross. Doesn't mean I like looking at patterns that trigger that in people. I'm a person too. Weird Valentine's Day decoration I saw today. Weird is putting it mildly, man. Local folklore. Oh boy, this ought to be good. Mill Pond. Site of the sawmill built by John Selee in the 18th century and continued by his son, Nathan, a wizard who purportedly used satanic imps to run the mill at night. No one verified that information. There's an internet rumor that this brand of perfume attracts wolf spiders, and a wolf spider showed up in my house today for the first time ever. Wait, no! Oh, I know someone who uses that! Lena, I'm sorry. You can't wear this shit anymore. Not if you're gonna live here. You can't. I'm sorry. That ship has sailed, okay? In the last few months, my coworker has received 2 cutouts of pro wrestlers in the mail. No explanation as to who it came from or why. I'm calling bullshit. You just wanted it to sound cooler. Right, guys?
Today we've got a great revenge story against a peanut butter thief. We'll get into that in a bit, but first, I gave inside info to an interview candidate. I interviewed for a job. I did not get selected for the next round. I was a bit bitter about it. The feedback was they wanted someone with more experience in X. I didn't have that much experience in X, so that seemed fair. I found out today that of the 2 people in the final round of interviews, only Lisa has more experience in X than I do. The other candidate, Bart, has 0 experience in X, but is a preferred candidate because they have a VP sponsoring them. Freak that noise. I reached out to Lisa and asked her for coffee. During coffee, I told her the format of the second round interview, what the questions will be, who will be on the panel, and what they're looking for from the responses. Lisa probably didn't need my help and could have gotten it on her own merit, but freak favoritism and work politics. I'm with OP on this one. You tell me, hey, we didn't go forward with you because you just do not have enough experience with so-and-so. Absolutely, okay, I understand that. But I have some choice words when they go and they turn around and hire somebody that also doesn't have any experience in X. Like, I'd have rather of them just told me they don't like me or something. Also, hi, I'm Steven, and if you guys enjoy awesome stories of revenge, it would be amazing if you left a like or left a review if you're listening to my podcast. That said, our next story is, I watched her eat the whole thing. In high school, I dated this guy for 4 years. He was my first love, first everything. I was attached for sure. A couple of years in, I started hearing rumors that he was cheating on me at parties. Of course, he denied this. Then I got proof. He begged for forgiveness and, like an idiot, I took him back. This was a continuing cycle. I was never angry at the girls, only him. Because they didn't know me or maybe even know of me. They owed me nothing. It was his choice to betray me. Until I met who we will call Karen. She went to a different high school. We met at a party and hung out all night. My boyfriend was also there, and I talked all night about how much I love him. I also shared the pain I'd been through with him. She was there for me, and it seemed like I'd met a new friend. Then about a week later, my boyfriend's friend lets me know that Karen and my boyfriend hooked up a couple of nights after I'd met her. This was the final straw. I angrily ended things for good with dude's cheating butt. This was kind of a new betrayal for me. It almost hit deeper. I was enraged. This time it was different. She knew who I was. She'd been acting like a friend. I wanted to unload all of my pain on her. Whether I was right or wrong, that's how I felt. The problem was we went to different schools and I would never run into her, except when she would come into my work, which was often. This totally sucked. I had to be all nice to her and act like nothing happened. So, one day, I was tasked with making her sandwich. That is when I decided I would have a little silent/petty revenge. First off, the floors in this restaurant were filthy. So I smeared each slice of turkey all over them, then I added a few moldy sliced tomatoes that were meant to be thrown away. I then delivered the sandwich to her, and we exchanged the same fake smiles we'd been giving each other for weeks. I went back behind the counter and watched her eat every bite. I was satisfied, and the anger was gone. Just a general good life rule. If you screwed somebody over at some point in their life, probably not a good idea to accept food from them that you yourself haven't seen get assembled or made. Lord knows if I slept with somebody else's partner and then later on there's a point where they're bringing me and hand delivering me a sandwich, in no way am I going to sit there, look at that sandwich and go, yeah, this is probably fine, I'll just eat it blindly. Honestly, I think I'd probably start dissecting it and looking for some kind of issue. I mean, shoot, how do you not notice a moldy tomato? This next story is hack my account, enjoy all the spam. A few months ago, I suddenly received an email from Instagram that someone was trying to break into my account and recommend that I make sure everything was secured. Sure enough, when I checked all the devices logged into my account, I found 3 unknown fake profiles. I did my best trying to knock the hacker out and even reset my password. However, the hacker still got the upper hand, changing both the password and the email attached to the account. If you've ever been hacked through your Instagram profile, you'll know that the social media site does the absolute minimum to get it retrieved for you. I've been hacked twice on Facebook, and both times they successfully recovered my account, yet when it comes to Instagram, it doesn't matter how many times an account can be reported, they'll do nothing. Even when you try to log back in to recover the account by taking a photo, it doesn't even work. So here they were, parading under my name trying to promote their crypto earnings. I have another account set up, and while I wasn't devastated by the loss of my 10-year-old social media account, I was more ticked off that the hacker was getting away with using my account. I know that they still use it because my aunt actually thought I'd bought a car recently and even commented on the photo. Overall, I just wanted to get back at them. That's when I remembered the notification Instagram had sent me, letting me know that the email for the account had been changed. The email, name and all, was just sitting there plain as day. Cue my petty revenge. I began internet surfing for anything, site, or store I could use to subscribe my hacker through their Gmail account. Maybe the hacker is a parent. So here's some mommy blog updates. What if they want to know their horoscope on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis? Here's a few astrology sites to keep them updated. And let's not forget that they'll need to shop at CVS every once in a while. And if you've ever had an email from them, you'll know that they go all out to spam your inbox. I'm thinking next of clothing stores because you never know if the hacker will need some new places to shop. So, unfortunately for OP, this might just be some junker temporary email they made to take over the account that they're not all too worried about the inbox being blown up over. It's probably just one email set aside from dozens that the only thing they're worried about is the Instagram account attached to it. And even on that, it's really easy to just make a filter where all you have is Instagram and everything else just gets sent off to some other folder. Our next story is honk at me for not making a dangerous left turn. Enjoy waiting another 2 minutes for the light to change. I was in the left turn lane with a car behind me. There was an oncoming vehicle, and I decided it would be too dangerous to turn, so I waited for the car to pass. The vehicle behind me started honking because I wasn't moving. I ignored him. I started inching forward after the car passed, and the guy behind me started honking again because I didn't immediately turn. At that point, I've had enough. I slammed on the brakes and just stopped in the left turn lane for 20 or so seconds despite there being no oncoming traffic. Guy behind me is honking like crazy. I waited until the light turned amber before turning, forcing the guy to be stuck at a red light for at least another 2 minutes. I mean, I get it if you're sitting at like a red light and it turns green and the person's just not moving, but when it comes to turn lanes or turning onto a road in general, and there comes a situation where they could have made it if they gunned it but they didn't, I think it is a jerk move to honk at those people. Bottom line, when you're driving, you've got to prioritize your safety first and foremost. If you weren't comfortable turning or merging at that point, honestly, try not to let somebody even honking behind you motivate you to do anything different other than wait for the right time. Our next story is drug dealer went to jail, dad got a free car. Okay, so a little context on this. It was late 90s or early 2000s. Also, this happened in one of the biggest counties in Florida, alright? So growing up, my dad was never there. He's been to prison 8 times and just doesn't really care about me or any of my brothers throughout Florida. But me being the oldest, I still kinda had a brother thing going on with him. So he kinda didn't try to hide any things around me, but I remember he was doing a lot of coke. I mean, to the point he had to figure something out to get on a regular basis without spending money. That's where Dean came in. He was a huge coke dealer and had multiple warrants for different things, so he made my dad an offer. Go to the DMV, meet with the info lady, but when you get transferred to the photo side to get your photo and license printed, they would send you to a other side. Well, somehow they switched and he got an ID with my dad's info and his photo. Well, fast forward, dude gives my dad like half, and my dad never sees him again. Well, I guess the guy went and got a car and everything under my dad's name, a Mitsubishi Eclipse. So when he was finally arrested, the police called my dad to pick up his car. I never saw a cokehead make it to the police so fast. I mean, dude didn't pay him, and he ended up with that car for a few years for nothing. I'm just curious, although he went and got what amounts to be his car back, if the dealer was like serious enough, and I mean he had like multiple warrants, right? So sounds like he was at least definitely in the game. I'd be curious if it made OP's father kind of watch over their shoulder a lot. Because not only did they do that favor and get a bunch of Coca-Cola for free, but they also took the dude's car. And there's only really like 2 places that car could have gone, right? Our next story is, keep being a jerk, you won't score today or ever. Back when I was with the French Republican Guard, I had a chief, first rank above the standard guard, that was a total jerk. He was so entitled and annoying. He was pulled out of guard duty for the different official buildings, pulled out of the motorcycle squad, couldn't get there anymore, they would shoot him on sight with machine guns, left to rot managing the parking space of the barracks. Now, the barracks had something like 70-ish parking spaces, 99.99% of them long-term, which in fact resulted in him having to take care of 2 spots that would get booked on a day-to-day basis. His behavior? Kiss butt with the powers, bully with anyone beneath him. He kind of never understood why every time he tried to show off in front of young girls, 16 to 19, who came here for the National Defense Discovery Day, loosely translated, term doesn't have an equivalent that would speak to you. Every time on one of these days, he would welcome the girls and guys, but he didn't give them as much attention. The first part would be perfect, but strangely, every single time the group of teens would take their first break for a coffee or something, his fame would blow out. Not like we waited in ambush to reveal the truth about him, including the missing gold band on one of his left fingers. This entitled jerk would allow a commandant to try to bring a huge truck from the front entrance. We told him it would get stuck. He wouldn't listen and try to placate the commandant and get the truck stuck half blocking traffic, more than an hour. For as long as he took upon